Well, naturally, like the more you put things in boxes, the more screwed up you get, and it's really easy to understand something that is put in all these boxes.
Yeah.
Hence, we can have so many labels for like just the amount of terms that we have today for different kinds of mental disorders.
Yeah.
That, like, the mind is this infinitely flexible thing in all directions. For every single kind of, like, even subtle difference between multiple different kinds of different disorders that we have of the mind, there are that many, just equal amounts in the opposite direction. In people being peaceful, free, joyous, whatever it is. We don't have any terms for the difference between those. For somebody who's, like, completely fine with, like, the way Dad describes Colleen, like, you say, like, oh man, it's kind of dirty under the table outside or something. The next morning she cleans it.
Yeah.
Like that type of, whatever that is. We don't have a term for that.
Right.
And it's just like, I'll go, okay, cool. And like the next morning she just does it, and she's happy about it and never mentions anything, whatever it is. Like that's one person with one type of nuance to their personality in a good, freeing way. Like just, and it's not like a person enjoys doing that specifically or something, like in little nuance tasks. It's like, if a thing needs to be done, the common approach to it is so wide, and we don't have terms to describe between all these common approaches. Totally. Like one person could just be like, oh, when there's I'm probably gonna write a scene like this in V because X kind of talks like this, but something like, if there's a thing that needs to be done, then it's not a matter of it's stupid wording, but it's not a matter of like you have to go do the thing. It's just like it's a thing, and if you're the one that is able to do it and there to do it and probably the best person to do it or whatever, like it's doable by you and it's the thing that is there to be done, then you just do it. That's it. There's nothing complicated about it. And that'd be like, that's one kind of nuanced approach to this, and you could call that would like be the opposite of, I don't know, some kind of mental disorder in the other side.
Yeah.
Then that mental disorder branches out into tons of nuances about like the different ways that manifests in people and different brain problems, like everything like that. If there's a thing to do, you just go and do it. Could be broken down into as many pieces.
Right.
And like we don't have that side of it because it's so much easier to put things in boxes when you're already existing
in a box,
like,
or whatever.
Yeah, things get in
like,
boxes. Yeah. And you get these disorders because of putting things in boxes.
Yeah. It perpetuates itself.
Yeah, like as soon as you get a box, you've screwed something up. You've got a problem. You've got a disorder. Yeah. And then you put more boxes in. Like you're trying to analyze and fragment it up. You end up with like a huge array of stuff that's really all the same. So people like say I have one problem or another problem, or whatever, and it's just like addictions and miseries. It's not it like it's that universal kind of joke of, it's not American misery and European misery and Australian misery. Misery is misery. But then you break misery down.
Universal joke. I don't think that's a very common joke.
Universal like function.
And
then like, okay, you have misery. And then how do we break down misery into more things so we can understand it better and like keep breaking it out of boxes? We don't have the opposite side because you didn't break it down into a box to begin with. It's just, it's freeing. It's more freeing. Like that's the direction you go. Instead of breaking it down, you're opening it up.